All right, so welcome in everyone. Today is April 22nd. Now today is not Technical Tuesday, we're gonna call it Technical Wednesday. Doesn't really sound as nice, but whatever. Kind of the reason why we moved it over to today was because a lot of the news are gonna be hitting today during the London session. So you see Wednesday, there was actually uh, not that much movement, especially during London session. There was no impact on any news, and I kind of like looking for volatility happening. So there was some medium impact on CAD. This was during the New York session, and then later on at 3:11 p.m. Pacific Standard for the U.S. Um, but as far as today, so we have some high impact going on to Thursday for the euro, medium impact here as well. Uh, just basically a bunch of red follows that we see for high impact all over from 12:15, 12:30, 1, 1:30, and then even at the open of the New York, we have some USD happening. So going to be looking at the euro USD, GBPs, as we can see here, and go from there. So let's go ahead and get started. By the way, before getting started, I did want to mention about the program, the mentorship program. I know some of you guys in here mentioned that you were part of it already. Congrats on joining. Those that aren't part of it, tomorrow at 11 p.m. Pacific Standard, it completely closes. We're not taking any more spots. This might be the last time that we're going to be doing the mentorship. So I'll actually leave a link just in case if you guys want to join into that. Um, one sec. Okay. And by the way, if anyone has any questions, just let me know. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and copy paste that onto the chat area so you guys can have it. Okay. Let me read some of you guys' questions real quick. How can we relate this red files to the pairs? So that's actually what I can go through right now during this training. I can answer that question for you, Romeo. Moses said you're getting into the mentorship program. Awesome. Now, someone asked about how long does it last? Normally it takes, I would say about 2 to 3 months to really get you through the program. Now, if you want to stay longer, you can, or if you just want to do 1 month, it's really up to you. But yeah, after this month, we're not going to be taking any more spots. Now, it's not guaranteed that we might open it up in the future, maybe like 6 months from now or something. But as of now, we're just sticking with certain people. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Now, to answer your question about how this relates, so this is one of the things that I can talk about as far as like part of the training. Also have some other stuff for you guys later today, some strategies that you can use with trading. Now, when I look at let's say there's euro high impact at 12:15. This is like 15 minutes after the open of the London session. What I'm mainly looking for is right when there's about to be that high impact happen. I'm looking for a certain breakout to happen. So I'm looking for patterns in the market. I look for multiple confirmations to be able to get in on a trade. Okay, so one of the things that I do look for is first off on the chart. So I'm going to be looking up different currencies right now for the euros. So like Euro USD, Euro GBP, do Euro JPY. And if I notice anything, being that the Euro is like the main currency, the first one on here, if I notice that it's looking like a pattern that's expected for the euro to go up, then I'm looking, you know, for a breakout or certain things based off of the currency pair. So, for example, right here we do have like kind of a low Euro USD, kind of consolidating here, so it might break through the consolidation. It did kind of break through, came back, and then it might most likely fully push through. So then this is kind of some things that we're going to be looking for, is if it fully pushes through at that time at 12 o'clock, being that there's going to be high impact on euro. So in my training, I do mention that about 90% is technical, and then about 10% is fundamental. Just knowing that there is high impact on the news, that's going to help out, especially with when you spot out like certain breakout areas. So let's see. Okay, so for Euro GBP, it looks like high impact. It shot up really high, came back down. Now I'm going to be doing the fibs from this low to this high, and then being able to see if it's around the area, so then I can buy once it shoots up, if it was to shoot up. So let's see. So close this out. Anyways, and then we had some impact on GBP, so I'm going to be bringing up the GBP pairs. Let's do GJ, GU, GBP, CHF. Okay. All right. Now I'm reading some of you guys' questions. How do you place a trade to catch only 100 micropips? That's mainly like a scalping trade, but it's more like a spot on entry, spotting it once it does a breakout. Now there's not a specific way to show you how to place a trade unless I show you all the different methods to get 3+ confirmations. Because my method is, once you have 3 or more confirmations, your chances of winning are going to be much higher than 50%. Especially with the strategy being a good strategy. So once you spot out the methods, which is actually why in the trading journal I have a section that points out to have 3 or more confirmations before entering in on each trade. So it kind of keeps you accountable. Okay, so with GBP, for the most part, what I'm seeing, it's rising. Yeah, we're going to be looking at some of these on TradingView. So I'm not going to be doing the analysis on here, but let's see. So we'll start off with let's see which one looked pretty good. I think it was GBP JPY. No, it was a Euro JPY that looked pretty good. Okay. So let me look out onto the daily, see what we see here. Major support at the bottom. Major support at the bottom, having a reaction right there. Now, do you guys see what kind of pattern this is? What we see on here? I'll point it out real quick. Okay, so you guys got it right. Some people in here, or Rich got it right. Angel got it right as well. Inverted head and shoulder, where we want to wait for a breakout to even confirm. Now price is all the way down here. Here's actually what I like about head and shoulders, and those that are in here that haven't seen my last training about the Fibonacci, I mentioned that sometimes for the right shoulder, I like getting the head to the top and then looking for areas to get in for the right shoulder. So between 50, 61.8, price actually dropped down to 78.6, and then now it's kind of at like this pivot point. So um, overall, and this is actually part of the pivot points, those that have taken this training. If I saw that there's a pivot point, which I see right now, there's a pivot point here, I'm expecting for not just an entry right when it goes above 50, being aware that this is an area where it might hit and then shoot back down. So waiting for the full breakout to happen. Now, when it breaks out, we actually see there's a pivot point right at this neckline there. So there's also a chance for that to hit, come back down, and then maybe fully break through and continue going up. Now, for this, normally the distance from here to here is a distance that it should go up. So overall, looking at somewhere around this area here for the take profit once we see it fully break through. This is for Euro JPY. Let's look at Euro USD. Now overall, so with being able to mix the news with the charts, you're looking for Euro and seeing if overall all the Euro pairs that you're looking at are showing you signs that price is going to move up. So that's kind of how I use the news to be able to see if everything else is kind of aligning together. So let me go to Euro USD. I'll just go ahead and erase it just to show you guys real quick analysis here. Okay. Going down to the 4-hour. So overall, we have this area of support down here. Now there's kind of like a support being played above here. Now this one was actually the one that I was talking about where it basically already did its breakout and then kind of coming back right now. Looks to be hitting here and then continuing to shoot down. So we do see we do see the consolidation happening here. Price is just moving a sideways market here. Then it broke through here, coming back up. For this here, we do fibs from high to low, and then looking for certain areas. Now, just based off of what I'm looking at here, and why I like when pivot point is around these areas. So pivot point is around that 38.2, and it's getting close to the London session. Is price is most likely going to come up here, hit 38.2, and usually at 38.2, it's an aggressive reversal. So you'd see it come up, hit it, and then a strong reversal coming down. Now, if you can see, even with this fib that I drew, the S1 aligns with the negative 27%. So I would say that that would be a good target to catch for this sell. Now, normally for a consolidating market like this, it's like a rectangle formation. So once price breaks through, we should be expecting price to hit somewhere down here, which is at negative 61.8 area. So yeah, be ready for this. You're going to notice a lot of the volatility happen during the London session. So just get ready for that. Now, if I'm noticing Euro USD is showing that it's expected to go down, then I go back to Euro JPY, and then now I rethink this. So there might be a chance, because right now price is at this pivot point area, there might be a chance that once the volatility hits, news comes in, price is going to reject off this area and then continue shooting down. Okay. Now, by the way, if you guys have any questions, I know I'm mainly talking here, but if you have any questions, I'm looking in the chat area. Just, you know, that's kind of the whole purpose behind this. I'm here to help you guys out, answer any questions. But other than that, let's look at, we have Euro USD. Let's check out the GBPs. Now, I'll also bring up the correlation pairs. This was another method that I was teaching in these live analysis. Let's see. Okay. So if you see Euro USD and GBP USD move together, now I was mentioning that Euro USD most likely will be continuing to shoot down. So let's check out GBP USD if it's showing the same thing. So GBP USD. Now let's do breakdown analysis. So I get my major areas here. Okay. Down to the daily. Now this is one of those areas. Those that were in the live analysis last week, GBP CHF, actually caught that one pretty well, and I caught it for a sell and a buy. So GBP CHF. So you guys saw I pointed out from the high to the low, it got around 61.8, 50% area. I was mentioning for a sell over here, but it never broke through, so I never. Well, I did enter, but overall the full breakout happened over here in this area. My stop loss was above this area here. So it's kind of what we see on GBP USD right now. We can have this, we have this high to the low. Prices here in this area did hit the 200 on the MA. Now going on to the smaller time frame. So what I'm seeing that's happening here with GBP USD is overall it looks to be creating that head and shoulder pattern like this. Prices right now moving up. And then we might see this shoot down. Now, here's how I would dig deeper into the price. So we see that overall price had the big drop, and then it was forming higher highs, and then right now it looks to it looks like price is not a strong uptrend. You know, it's kind of going sideways. And usually for something like this, with the pattern that I see, we see like the left shoulder head, and then the right shoulder about to form. So I go down to the 1 hour, and then right here trapping the price. So it's trapped right there. 15-minute on this one to trap it even tighter. And we see overall right here, the best entry would be right in this area. That's when price would break through. As of now, let me zoom out a little more so I don't lose you guys. Okay, so you get this high, get this low. Now, even though if I have the fib on the bigger time frame, this is the thing with fibs. You can get fibs on the 5-minute, 1 minute, and still be able to get it on the bigger time frames. So like right now, this time frame, I got it on the 1 hour. Price is around that 50.61. No, 50.61.8 is up here. Is around the 50 and 38.2. So okay, so we might see a little bit more of a rise hitting around the pivot point. But if we do see that it does, if it does shoot down, break below this pivot point, entry would be down here for a sell. And Now we would overall, let's see. So it's not as high to create that right shoulder. It's kind of like really low. Okay. Now for something like this would be more of like a scalping the trade, being that you're using fibs. So most likely you're going to see it go to at least this low. Let me actually adjust the fibs a little. So this low right here, which is actually where support 1 is at. So you enter here, take profit there, and stop loss can be up here. Now this is more like a 1-to-1 ratio. Overall, we should be seeing the overall trend continue to go down. So this is 500 right here, or 4 to 500, and then down here is for 1,000. This is more like a quick trade happening right here. Okay. Now GBP USD. So based off of what I'm looking at, GBP USD is looking to drop down. Same thing with Euro USD. So based off of these, because they're correlation pairs, Euro USD and GBP USD, they move together. So if Euro USD goes down, GBP USD is expected to go down as well. GBP USD RSI divergence on 15. The RSI don't mainly focus on the 15. It's mainly the 1 hour. Now you could do the 15, just kind of quick trades, but it's not as effective, I found. Okay, so let's look at the next pair. I can actually bring up the charts here. So Euro USD, if we see Euro USD is expected to go down, same thing with GBP USD, then most likely USD CHF is expected to go up. So let's check that out. USD CHF. Now just go ahead and erase just so you guys can see the whole breakdown here. Okay, and support down here. Your price is overall going up, just trapping it a little more. Okay, so the main thing we see here, prices going down, going up, just kind of consolidating in this area, just getting tighter and tighter and looking for a breakout to happen. Now, because we see Euro USD is expected to go up, expected to go down, then USD CHF might be going up. So if it does continue to break through here, then we're going to be expecting this to just continue shooting up. Targeting somewhere around here. Normally for something like this, it's distance from here to here. Should be going up once it fully breaks through. Now, for patterns like this, I do notice that it does come down, hits like 3 times at the bottom and 3 times at the top, and then it does its breakout. So gonna be aware of that. Okay. Now we do see right here prices basically coming down. Looks like it might be hitting this pivot area and then shooting up. So that's more of what kind of reaction we see during these news that are going to be hitting. So when asked what's the biggest time frame that I use, I would sometimes even go to the monthly, but usually weekly, daily is the highest that I go to. Now GBP CHF. So GBP CHF is actually one that I can see continuing to drop down. Being that on the bigger time frame, it pulled up around the 61.50% area, and this is kind of the drop coming down right now. So just based off of what I see, and by the way, I did call the buy yesterday inside the golden circle area. I think it was somewhere. I think it was somewhere down here, if I remember. Um, just kind of confirm. Okay, but yeah, so overall with this, what I can see going on here with the fibs now, just based off of what I'm looking at here. Let's get here from here. Okay, you're gonna get this high down to this low. Zoom in a little more. All right, so between this 60, 50% area here, price is currently at the R1 area, getting the support on this. All right. Now for this kind of trade, being that GBP is about to happen pretty soon, GBP news, it's going to be hitting at 1:30 a.m. Pacific Standard. So overall, for a trade like this, just with using fibs, let me actually look for more things. So another thing that I do notice is the RSI. I can already tell just based off of what I see here, we can see that price is showing it's strong up here. Price here isn't showing the same thing. Now this line that I drew here, actually go back, let's see. Okay, so this is a major support line right here. Major support line, price broke through the support line, came back up, hitting like resistance, and then most likely going to be shooting down. So that's why that line is pointed out there. And actually right below the 50% area is when it's below that line. So that would be a pretty good entry. Now for the take profit areas. So say for something like this, we should be, especially with good risk to reward here, 50% stop loss somewhere above the 61.8, above the R1, and actually put it a little higher above this wick over here. And take profit down to this 0.0. You can already see the risk to reward here is really good, 1.91 ratio. Which, by the way, inside of the trading journals, it actually asks you to put down your risk to reward ratio. So that's going to be just making sure that it's more than 1-to-1, especially if you're just starting off. Yeah, even if you were to do 1-to-1, here's the thing about strategy is if you were to do 1-to-1 catching 300 on one side and then 300 on the other side, your chances of winning this trade are going to be higher because you have the strategy down. Now, for this kind of target, I know most likely once it breaks through, it's going to hit this 0.0. By the way, again, I know some of you guys are brand new in here. If you want to follow me on TradingView, what you want to do is go to tradingview.com. Go to tradingview.com. You want to go to where the search bar is at. Click on this ticker area, look for people, and then look up Risky Ricky. Risky Ricky, it's going to be the one with the lion. By the way, Jamie, congrats on joining the mentorship program. But you want to click on Risky Ricky, and then you would find me here. There's going to be a follow area. When you follow, anytime I post an analysis, you're going to get an email about it. So it actually helps you out. But some of the things here is going to help you out see what I'm looking at. So this was actually, I think, last week where I didn't get in, being that it didn't fully break through, and price just continued to go through. But I did call a signal later on down the line once it fully broke through. Your JPY was one that I called as well. Hit take profit, real clean trade. But yeah, so make sure to follow me on there. I'm actually going to post this on there right now. By the way, I get nothing for you guys following me. It's just really to help you guys out. So GBP CHF expected to. Okay. So now it's published. I could delete it. I have 15 minutes to be able to delete this. I usually don't ever. But yeah, so going to be looking for this to drop down. Now, GBP, so GBP USD is looking to be dropping down just based off of what I see. GBP CHF is looking to be dropping down. So GBP is expected to get weaker. Actually, it gets stronger. So GBP, and then Euro USD, being that this is a correlation, this one's also looking to continue to drop. So it's correlating to GBP USD and GBP high impact news, which most likely we'll be seeing it here. So it's kind of something to wrap your head around. Might take some time, but yeah, overall it's something to get down. Someone's saying about the Stinu app for risk management. Actually, I'll give that a check. I know I was actually looking for some apps, not for my own personal use, but probably something to refer to, because I know a lot of people have trouble with risk management. I explain it, but sometimes a calculator is better. Okay. Now I did hear about the MyFX book, Forex calculator. That one I did hear. But personally, my main thing that I use is just a regular calculator. It's real simple to be able to do the calculations. That's actually the way that I teach it, is just using the calculator. Yeah. So let's see what else it is, and let me keep track of time. Okay. All right, so looking at the first one, someone mentioned GJ. Let's check out GBP JPY. And being that GBP, based off of what I'm looking at, is expected to drop, let's see if GJ is showing the same thing. So GJ, did I not analyze this? This looks exactly the same as GBP CHF. Like exactly the same. Let me see the time frame. Daily. Yeah, it looks exactly the same. Anyways, GBP JPY is looking to do the exact same thing with dropping. I feel like I did this pair already. It's pretty crazy. Okay, so resistance line here. I do notice the resistance isn't touching this area. And again, being able to do the fibs on the smaller time frame. If you go down to the 1 hour, fibs, high to low, it's around that area right now on that 50, 61.8. It's also around R1, chopping the price a bit here. It looks exactly like GBP USD as well, where it's doing kind of like that. It looks like a double top, but I don't count that as a double top because it's overall on a downtrend. So it looks like a double top happening. But yeah, for something like this, overall, it's looking to be dropping, just based off of it hitting 61.8, 50% area. Price is already creating lower lows, coming up, creating a lower high, and should continue to drop down. So it's really just looking at when the GBP news hits and then when the breakout happens. But for something like this, my kind of entry would be just for the multiple confirmations. It's definitely going to be somewhere down here. See that distance, okay. Take profit would be being that this is a bigger stop loss, targeting all the way down here because overall it's going to be dropping. So if it breaks through, we should probably see a reaction right at this low, but then should continue to drop down. Because overall, just based off of the bigger time frame, it's expected to drop. Also hit around this 200, so it kind of like broke through, hit like resistance. You guys know the 200. It would hit and then drop down. See someone's question. As a novice to currency pair trading, I'm totally lost. Is there a way for me to get extra class? So if you're brand new to trading, there's different options. It really depends on you. But what I would do is if you go to the Market Masters Academy website, also depends on budget too. But as far as like the training, it doesn't really cost much to join into. So we have like the free training area where you can already start getting some of the knowledge. So like the sample of the Forex Trading 101. Now the Forex Trading 101 is perfect if you're just starting off. Now I'm not going to turn this into like an infomercial or anything, but yeah, real quick. So that one's perfect for just starting off and just kind of showing you like the back end of what the Forex trading looks like. Forex Trading 101 looks like. So it's literally step by step of like what you need to know about Forex, why trade Forex, the majors, Forex terminologies, blah, blah, blah. And then just really gets into detail on getting you set up, how to identify trends, support and resistance, like, yeah, like how to trap the price. Actually, look at this picture here. I thought it was pretty funny. How to trap the price. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So that's something that I would recommend is the Forex Trading 101. And for the Forex Trading 101, it's 150 for that one. So back to analysis. So yeah, GBP CHF expected to drop. Same thing with GJ, expected to drop. Now there hasn't been one that I've noticed like really good. Well, a lot of these that I pointed out were good, but there's some that are like so confident that I'm just like putting in big lots, 15, 20. So let's see EuroCAD. Let me just look at my chart first. EuroCAD was one that I called for a sell when it was dropping. And this was kind of my confirmations for the sell. We had 3. We had this sell signal right here. from this indicator. And yeah, it was a really, really good sell. Perfect entry on that one. There was more confirmations than that, but these were two really good ones. Now it won't be too long, you guys. I'm actually getting to like a quick training. By the way, you guys in here, if you guys tag me on Instagram, I actually got a couple people that tagged me. Kid underscore true tagged me being on the webinar. A couple people that tagged me, but every time I'm doing these live analysis, I just repost your guys' story. Can you pull up the chart, the pair charts? Okay. So let's look here. We have, let's look at NZD USD. The NZDs, give it some love. By the way, this was a signal that was given for a buy signal on this one. Buy signal NZD USD. By the way to take signals is not fully relying on signals. Even if it was my signals, always do your analysis no matter what. Okay. NZD USD is looking exactly like the GBPs and whatnot. Let me do this real quick. Just kind of what I see in that area. It's a bigger time frame. Let me point this area out. Okay. A lot of these had a big drop, pulling back up, and it's looking to drop. This one looks exactly like GBP CHF, USD JPY. Kind of have like the left shoulder, right, and or head, and then this area here that's giving the resistance. They're all looking the same. Basically, what I think is going to happen is if this is dropping, so is GJ, so is GBP CHF. We're just going to notice everything drop. So just be prepared for that. Already I can see here it came up, formed a lower high, kind of created a low here, kind of area there. But let's see. So this area here, just gonna wait for this to break through for an entry down here. Now, if you catch this going all the way down, entry could be here. Stop loss could be above 61.8 if you want, and then take profit could be 0.0. Just like all these other ones, we're aiming that for that 0.0 area. So yeah. I'm not going to be doing gold analysis, but let me get into some training. So let's hear about something that you guys want to talk about. I didn't plan exactly which training to go over today, so let's see who comes up with the first one. It could be anything from any of the indicators you see I'm using, any majors. Fibonacci. Fibonacci. Go to the last couple videos. I think it was like 2 videos ago. I talked about Fibonacci. I don't do MACD, so I'm not going to go through that. Majors and minors. That one's kind of, it's going to take a while to get through. Okay. All right, so we'll go through this one here, 21 and 8 crossover. Real quick here. So with the with the indicators, this is my secondary focus, so it's not my main thing that I'm looking for. But yeah, these red and blue indicators that you see in here, these are the moving average, and the other one's also a moving average, but it's an exponential moving average. To add it onto your chart, you go to indicators. One of them that you're going to want to pull up, you can type in EMA and it should pop up, moving average exponential. You click on that, it adds it to your chart. And then the other one is going to be moving average. I spelled that wrong. So moving average, and it's just regular moving average. So once you click on that, it'll pop it up on your chart. Now let me remove the 200 just so we're not confused. Now the settings that I use for the regular moving average, it's the 21. So make sure to write this down, you guys. 21 is a length, source is close. And by the way, this is going to be recorded on YouTube so you can watch this. The style for this is red. Now I'm going to make this line a bit thicker just so you guys can see it clear. So this one's the red moving average. And then the EMA, exponential moving average, go to settings, inputs. You want to put this under 8, sources close, offset 0, style. I'm going to make this a little thicker. And there we go. So we have the blue and then we have the red. Now, the way the moving average works is it's showing you the strength of the price. And the farther that you go back in numbers, or the bigger the number is, the farther away from the actual price it is. So for example, this one's the 21. If I put 1, it's going to make it so close to the actual price. And then the farther out that I go, like if I do, let's say 50, it goes a lot farther away from the actual price. So when it comes to indicators, they kind of lag, but with this strategy here, this one's called the 21 and 8 crossover, or that's what I call it, the 21 and 8 crossover. And this basically gives you a signal to buy and sell in the market. Now, it's not the main thing that you're looking for to place a trade, but it could be one of those confirmations. Now, I normally mention 3 or more confirmations before getting into any trade, just so you're confident with your trade and your chances of winning are going to be higher. So now the code for this, the exact method, when blue is over red, that means buy signal. When red is over blue, that equals a sell signal. Okay. So as you can see right here, let's spot out an area where we see a crossover. So right here, this blue is above, and then right in this area is when the crossover happens. If I zoom in, so just based off of this strategy, an entry could be right when it crosses through. Now, you would wait for this to cross through to place a sell, and then basically from this point, once we notice the blue crossing above the red, so you can see price comes up, but the blue does not cross above until right about this area right here. This is where it crosses through. And basically the distance from here to here is what you could have caught if you were to get it on that sell. Now, when blue's above the red, you can buy. Now, if you were to buy in these areas here, the exit would be here. So you wouldn't make profit. You would probably lose like a little bit if you were just to stick to this strategy. But here, let's just say if you were to sell when the blue crosses under the red, you sell, and then right here is when the blue crosses above. So you could have caught from up here entry all the way to down here. Now, this indicator isn't the main thing that I'm looking at to get into a trade. When I get into a trade, I'm looking for more price action stuff. So if I see, like, let's say overall this is going in an uptrend, So we see higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and just continues the uptrend formation. And then right in this area is when we see that it breaks the support on the uptrend, plus a blue crosses over, plus let's say this resistance area here is broken through, then it's like multiple confirmations. We can see price breaks through, comes back up, hits like resistance, comes back down, and then now it's starting to continue the downtrend, which is where we're at right now. Price is in the downtrend, looks to be coming up a little, and then most likely going to continue to drop down. And then targeting this area because it's a major support, which it hasn't continued to hit. And overall in the bigger time frame, looking to drop even further down. But anyways, so that's how you would use the 21 and the 8. The main time frame to look at this is on the 1 hour time frame. Any questions? Did you guys get that down? I tried teaching it as fast as possible, that strategy there. EMA is 8. EMA is 8. Source is close. Time frame that I use is the 1 hour time frame. Now here's the thing with this, you can also look at the bigger time frame as well, because when you change time frames, the RSI changes with it. So the way that I see it is the bigger time frame that you use this indicator, the more potential pips that you can catch technically. So a way that I like using this strategy is when I see a major market reversal pattern. So let me just spot one here. I'll spot it on the 1 hour because that's the main one that I focus on. I'm just going to spot something out. So okay, so let's see this area here. So we can see it does like a left shoulder, head, and then right shoulder right there. Neckline is like this. Now, if I was to get in on the right shoulder, this is actually something that helps me out with getting in on the right shoulder is when I do the fib from this high and then this low, and then I get that 50, 61.8 or whatever, I can see price came up, hit around this area, and then shot down. I could get in below the 50, or I can get in right when the crossover happens on the 21 and 8, being that it's like an extra confirmation for that sell. And then I already know, sorry, give me one sec, you guys. Okay, I'm back. That was weird. I need something to drink. But okay, so when I see this coming up and then expect it to come down, being that it's already forming like a lower low, lower high, and then it's shooting down, in this area right here, I can get in before the breakout happens. So normally for the head and shoulders, the breakout would be the entry, but sometimes I do get in before because I know it's already looking to be creating that head and shoulder pattern, especially once I notice that reversal happening here. So I would get in, target for 0.0 or negative 27% or 61.8 coming down. And then adding on to that, having support on this uptrend, and then it just breaks through the support, just continues the downtrend. So that's kind of how I would use it for the 21 and 8 to be able to catch the trade even sooner. Sponsored by Bang. Just kidding. Okay. Let's see. Is there any strategies to get in and trade with stop hunters? I'm not looking for trades like that. I'm mainly looking for breakouts and stuff. So for stop hunting, it's a little different. That's like the way that I see stop hunting, or what normally happens, and a lot of people don't know about stop hunting, but the main thing is there's going to be wicks that happen where price basically doesn't break through. It's kind of like if it fakes you out, it looks like it breaks through, but then it comes back the other way, and then it hits people's stop loss and then goes back into place. That's kind of the whole stop hunting thing. But the main thing with support and resistance is you have to see the price significantly break through, and usually you'll see that significant breakthrough when you see like a large candle. When you see like it's breaking through breaking through the support or like neckline for this example. So you would just wait for price to really break through so then you can get in. But as far as worrying about price shooting back up and then hitting your stop loss, that's why you would have to have your stop loss in a good area. So for something like this, if I was to get in down here, stop loss would be somewhere below 61.8. I mean above 61.8, and then take profit somewhere like 0, negative 27%, 61.8. So the chances of it coming up and hitting these areas are not as much. Now there's going to be some losing trades, obviously, because there is no strategy that's 100% winning. But the main thing is improving the odds of winning so that overall you're expected to win. Just by knowing like uptrends and just knowing how trends go, higher highs and higher lows, like that alone can already help you with making money. Like if you were to buy in this area right here, your chances of winning are going to be higher than if you were to sell in this area. So that's the thing with trading. If you have multiple confirmations to get in on a trade, then it's just going to help out your odds. So that's really it. Having good risk management and 3 or more good confirmations to get into a trade. But anyways, that's it, you guys, for tonight. You guys have a good rest of your night. Let's catch some pips. Let's make some money. And final thing, just reading someone's message here. Some editor. Yeah, message me privately, Megan. Cool. So final thing, you guys probably have heard at 11 o'clock today already, Thursday, 11 p.m. Pacific Standard, the 2-on-1 mentorship program does close down. We might not open it up again. Maybe we might. We're not sure, but right now our main focus is going to be on the people that we have right now, and we're not going to be taking any more past 11 p.m. So that link will not be working after 11 p.m. Thursday at 11 o'clock. Cool, you guys. So you guys have a good night. Again, let's catch some pips. Let's make some money. It's already 12 o'clock. Let's actually see real quick. We see some pretty strong movement coming down. So might be seeing these things play out. This one's playing out, going up. Euro USD is playing out, going down. We could actually, yeah, Euro USD, you guys can, I'm just chopping this a little more, not really necessary, but yeah, Euro USD, get in on a sale, you guys. Get on a sale on Euro USD. Should be catching this going down. Okay. And GBP CHF. Let's look at this. GJ. Gonna be waiting for this breakout here. But yeah, you guys. Cool. So I'm gonna be posting a signal pretty soon in the signal chat area. You guys have a good night. Let's make some money. We'll talk to you guys later. And I can't find the stop button. Hate when this happens.